Did that not click?
No.
All right, guys, welcome in. It's College SportsCast. We are here to do our season 4 Big Ten college football preview. Let's go.
When you get to the point where you do the work consistently, you invest in yourself consistently, you make sacrifices consistently when everybody else is slacking off, when everybody's partying, when everybody's making excuses, you will dominate every single person you're up against, and your limits become non-existent.
All right, guys, welcome back. It is Brad with College SportsCast. We're here to do our college football preview for the Big Ten. That was a promo for Stadium Rant. We are proud to be part of Stadium Rant now here with our video content and our writings. John has been very busy putting out articles. I put out a few this week, and we have the Professor Nicholas with us from Stadium Rant. What's up?
Man, it's glad to be back. I can't wait to talk Big Ten with you guys. Yeah, we're here. I'm excited.
That's awesome, man. College football season's getting closer and closer.
Yeah, it's getting there, man.
Yeah, Hammonds, you're doing a lot of writing with Stadium Rant. Go to stadiumrant.com. Check out all the articles that John and I are doing. Kentucky, we're doing some about just college football in general. So check those out. Also, real quick, before we move on, if you guys are on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Go to Stadium Rant and do the same thing. If you are on Facebook, please like and follow. Or subscribe to College SportsCast for just 99 cents a month.
Yep.
All right. We are going to move along. These shows are kind of long. We have 18 teams to get to. But I'm going to put that up on the bottom for just a minute here. We do have 18 teams to get to. The first one we're going to do, believe it or not, out of 18 teams, the first team in alphabetical order is Illinois. I don't know how that's the case out of the Big Ten, but that's the first team to talk about in alphabetical order is Illinois. And John, I'm going to start with you. What is your initial thoughts here about Illinois?
Well, I mean, you got to look at it like from last year. You know, they won 10 games for the first time since they was in the Big Ten championship in 2001. They got Luke Altmaier back. They got Gabe Jackas back at linebacker. You know, they return an impressive group, and there's high expectations in Champaign this year. And, you know, Brett Bielema has got a lot to kind of go over for this season because, you know, hey, you go from 10 wins to 6, it's not going to go over well for the fan base. You know, you got to continue to build on what you did last year, and I think they will. And I think, you know, their ranking what was it last week in the preseason poll, coaches poll, is a clear indicator that they believe in Illinois.
So, give me one key to the season that you got for Illinois just to start off with.
I think it's their quarterback, and I think some of it's their schedule. I think their showdown with Ohio State, October 11th, is going to be a really huge game for them. So they got a favorable schedule, honestly.
All right, Nicholas, what is your initial thoughts here with Illinois?
First off, I like this team a lot. The coaching is where I think this team is sneakily underrated. I think they have a top 5 head coach in the Big Ten, in my opinion. I like what I saw from I can never pronounce his name correctly. Brulema?
The coach.
Yeah, the head coach. Brulema?
John, what's his last name?
Brett Bielema.
Yeah,
Bielema.
there we go.
Bielema.
I don't know what it is with me and him, but I can't pronounce his last name. But the one thing I'm a little concerned is I'm not a fan of the defensive coordinator, and I think their defense is a little lackluster. And with their schedule, their defense has to get better, and I think it goes on the coach.
So give me a couple of keys to the season real quick from you.
Like I said, I think the key for them, they got to maintain the offensive firepower that they got. That to me is number one. And I think the second key for them is they got to improve schematically on defense. Because yes, they had 10 wins last year, but there were times where defensively they were like kind of being held back a little. I don't know if it's like a motivation thing or like a talent thing, but like their defense has to show some level of improvement. Do you guys agree with me on that?
Yeah, man, I do. I think for sure their defense is one thing that they've got to work on for sure. All right, so John, give me a few key players for Illinois.
I already mentioned one. Luke Altmaier. I think he's going to be really big for them. You got the talent. This is probably his most talented team he's had.
They have 16. They have the most. Just to throw this out to you guys, they have the most returning starters in the Big Ten.
They do,
which is huge. Which is huge for them.
48 returning lettermen. So I think the quarterback here is probably the biggest key for them. I think as Altmaier goes, the rest of the team will go.
Nicholas, give me some key players for you.
Yeah, I agree. They had a lot of returning players. I think the key player for me that's returning that I really like is James Thompson. I thought he was going to be declaring. He was pretty solid. But to me, you have to go with the receiver. What's his name? Clement. I think he's going to have a big season as well. But I think everyone who's returning, and keep in mind the two names I mentioned, they're seniors, and we all thought that they were going to declare.
Yeah, for sure. They have a lot of pieces back on this team. John, some key games.
I think the game at Duke, week 2 is pretty big. I think the week 4 at Indiana is pretty huge as well. Because they got a really manageable schedule. They play Western Illinois at Duke, Western Michigan at home, at Indiana, home against USC, at Purdue, home against Ohio State, at Washington, home against Rutgers, home against Maryland, at Wisconsin, and home against Northwestern. So they really got a favorable schedule to, possibly win 8 or 9 games again, get to maybe even 10 with a bowl game. So the key kind of swing games are the ones I mentioned, the Duke game, the Indiana game on the road, and then the Ohio State game at home, which is going to be really big.
I think would you say that game against Ohio State is a must win for them? Yeah,
because if you drop maybe the Duke game or the Indiana game, you need to win that game, especially being at home.
Yeah, that's sort of the mindset I had. Like, I think no matter what, that game's a must win for them.
Yeah, and the trips to Duke and Indiana are kind of tough. I mean, we don't know what Duke's going to be like.
I mean, Champaign is kind of a tough place to play.
It is. It's a tough environment.
Yeah. All right, so we had the schedule rundown. John already gave us that. So, John, I'm going to throw it to you. Regular season win total. Give me a prediction for this Illinois team.
I'm going to put them at 8. I think there's some losses in this schedule, especially on the road. They play at Duke, at Indiana. Wisconsin's a tough place to play at the end. At Washington's never easy, especially, going out west. So there's some losses in there, I think, but there's some also wins. So I think, they're probably going to hit up 8 wins. And I think that's a good season for Illinois. Even
all right, Nicholas.
With how tough their schedule is, I'm around the same area. I'm going to go with 7 because I think their schedule is just super tough, and I feel like there's a little bit more losses. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they got to the 8 range.
All right, so I guess real quick before we move on, they're coming off of a 10-win season, I believe. Would 7 or 8 wins be a disappointment in Champaign?
Definitely,
yeah.
I mean, going no matter what, going from double-digit wins to just like a single, like not having double-digit wins is pretty much a disappointing year. But with how tough their schedule is, you have to, and I mean you have to have 8 like minimum for that fan base to be happy. But it's going to be tough with that schedule. Very tough.
All right, so speaking of holding up to what was last year, John, the next one we're going to go to in alphabetical order is Indiana. I mean, they got the new coach. He comes in there, wins and wins and wins, gets them to the college football playoff last year. John, what's your initial thoughts here?
Yeah, how's he going to follow that? Like, 7 wins, college football playoff appearance. They also retained their all Big Ten players on both sides of the ball. They added a quarterback in Fernando Mendoza. They got some guys in the portal from the line. I think the key for Indiana, honestly, is better line of scrimmage play. And the schedule don't look nearly as favorable as it did a year ago. It's actually a lot worse than it was a year ago. So Indiana's got some work to do in the schedule department if they want to repeat what they did a year ago.
You know what I really like on this Indiana team? I really like Elijah Surratt. That's a guy who I think is going to be a player. And I think if all things go well, he probably will declare for the NFL draft after this year. But that's a player who I think is going to be a tremendous star on this offense.
Do you think they can live up to the like mark that they set last year, Nicholas?
Well, that depends because, like John mentioned, their schedule from this year compared to last year is a lot tougher. But the thing I always attribute though is the coaching, and I think they got a coach here.
Well, I really do. I think Kalen Black is going to be big too. Big for him this year. Like last year, I think he only had 46 carries, so he's probably going to be your big bruiser back now. With some of the other guys gone. So,
all right. So you're kind of jumping to the next one. So I'll just go ahead. I mean, is that going to be
that one? The quarterback play. You couldn't ask for no better quarterback play than they had a year ago. How that transpires to this year, that's another thing to be seen. But he did retain quite a bit of talent. He went into the portal and got some offensive line guys.
Which they needed.
Line, which they needed, because there was a lot of games last year where Indiana struggled offensively at times against really good teams. Look at Notre Dame. There was some games against Ohio State where they just could not match up physically with them one-on-one. So hopefully
we are talking about Indiana versus Notre Dame and Ohio State.
Yeah, but you gotta improve your talent level to compete with those guys. And I think,
come on, it was year one.
Well, yeah, I mean, and he filled a lot of gaps. Signetti did, he got Curtis Rourke, probably
Yep.
one of the top quarterbacks last year.
And he played really well. Can he do that with this guy? Another new guy coming in. So
That's the question.
Nicholas, give me some key players.
I already gave you a few. Surratt was a guy who I kind of liked.
Yeah.
When I'm looking at this defense, though, there are really two guys that stand out to me the most, and that's D'Angelo Pons, because I think he's a really nice piece for that secondary. And I kind of like the pass rusher Kamara. I think he's a weapon for that pass rush.
Right.
Those are and if they declare this here, I think they could be NFL players. But those are the two guys I really see as like the focal point of the defense. Do you guys agree with me on that?
I do.
Yep. All right. So key games, John. They do have a little bit more of a difficult schedule. You can do a quick rundown of the schedule if you want, and then give me some key games.
They play. Hold on, just a minute. Let me pull it up here. They play Old Dominion at home, Kennesaw State, Indiana State, Illinois. All four of those are 4 home games at Iowa. Then they have an open day, and that's when it gets kind of tricky because they got 2 or 3 games that they are winnable, but then the end slate's where it gets rough. They get at Oregon, Michigan State, UCLA, at Maryland, at Penn State, Wisconsin, open date, and Purdue.
That's a rough schedule.
That's especially the road games. The at Oregon, the at Maryland, which Maryland they had a good year last year. At Penn State. Tough.
Yeah.
So there's some losses there. I don't think they're going to do what they did a year ago. I don't think they have the schedule is completely.
So I think at home against Iowa is a very important game in week 4.
I do.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the key game, and that's probably the one I'm probably going to look at. I think the Illinois game's pretty big as well. You're probably going to have maybe both teams coming in 4-0, 3-0. That will be a big game in terms of the race for the Big Ten, and trying to dethrone Ohio State, which I don't see anybody doing this season.
No, I think Ohio State's got the. I'm spoiling this now. I think Ohio State basically is going to be the team.
I think they're going to be the one to have to beat.
They're the clear number one. They're like the Alabama of the Big Ten.
They are.
So, what do you think a key game here for Indiana is, Nicholas? You think the ones that we said, basically?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
Right.
I agree. Week 4 is, I think that's a must win for them.
Yeah. All right, John, give me a predicted win total for Indiana this year.
I'm gonna go 8. I'm gonna go 9-3. I just think there's some losses on this schedule. And
I mean, if you're an Indiana fan and you go the playoffs last year and can come back and go 9-3, you ought to be pretty happy.
Yeah.
Nicholas, what do you think here? Predicted win total.
I'll join John. I agree. I think they're going to get 8. It's a tougher schedule, and he basically took a lot of the words I was about to say. So yeah,
you're saying 8?
Yeah, I'm going 8.
Okay. All right. Well, that wraps up Indiana, and the next one we're going to go to, guys, is Iowa. So we were just kind of talking about that being a key game for Indiana. But, John, I mean, they have the longest tenured coach in the Big Ten. I think this is year 25, maybe 26. I can't remember, but he's been there a very long time. And they usually win a lot of ball games. So what's your initial thoughts on Iowa?
It's hard to predict Iowa because, last year their offense, got stagnant at times. They've won 10 or more games in a season 11 times. 8 of them have been under Kurt Ferentz. How you say that? Ferentz, something like that. Yeah, I butchered his name, but they've been in good bowl games. They committed the fewest penalties in all of football. I think Air Force was the only team that had fewer yards.
They always have good defense too.
Yeah, and they always have a really good defense. But the problem was 5 of the 8 wins were against teams that was under 500 last year. They beat a decent, I wouldn't say real good, Nebraska, Illinois State. There was a couple other games. I think there's a couple other games that they lost or won. But he's always got a good team there. Always consistent, always in the picture, always a great place environment to play a football game. I think Iowa's got I think they got a quarterback this year, and we'll get to that in a minute.
So, I mean, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. You can just run this every single year. One of the keys to Iowa being better than like 8 wins is offense. I mean, honestly, they have to find some offense.
Yeah, that's the big weak point.
That's year in and year out. You can say that about them. So, Nicholas, you can go from there.
Yeah, I think the strength of this team is their defense, and I love the word that John said that I 1,000% agree with is discipline. And you guys might disagree with me here. I think this defense is the most disciplined defense in the Big Ten. And I love the defensive coordinator, Phil Parker. I'm stunned he hasn't gotten a head coaching job. And
now, with the quarterback, Gronowitski, he's one of the nation's best FCS quarterbacks.
Yeah.
He was at South Dakota State. So,
and I think with him being added to this team, I think will help the offense, because whether it's college, high school, or NFL, your offense isn't going to do well without a good quarterback. And I think they definitely got their guy at quarterback. But
so let's go to key players. I mean, John, you already mentioned his name. He was the top one in FCS. You think that will translate over at Iowa?
Well, I mean, it has to. I mean, he hit on, I think, 64% of his passes. He had 10,309 yards over a span. And it's his offense to run, and I think that he's going to build that offense, and I think he's going to show out. I think Iowa will be much improved on offense, and that's one thing we've never really said around here. I think
we've been doing this for our 4th year. We've said the same thing about them every time.
Yeah.
So,
and their O-line's a little shaky, to be honest with you. Like, the only blocker I really like from Iowa is probably Duncan's Genning Dunker, I think his name is.
Yeah.
Their O-line's a little shaky, but like I said, this team's disciplined. I love their coaching staff, and in time, and I think they could get a good unit to give time to this offense. So it'll be interesting to see how they play. But like I said, the defense is the key thing here for them.
All right, John, give me a quick schedule rundown, and then we'll go to key games.
Let me bring it up here. Let's see here. Hold on just a minute. I'm having to pull it up.
I haven't.
I can't find it. Hold on a minute.
I could pull it up if you're.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, pull it up if you don't care.
Yeah, let me go on to Bing right now. Okay.
Oh, here it is. They play.
I got it.
Okay.
Albany. Why is this my internet slow right now? Okay, there we go. Yeah, Albany, Iowa State, UMass, Rutgers, Indiana, Wisconsin, Penn State, Minnesota, Oregon, USC, Michigan State, Nebraska, and that's their schedule.
Okay. So, John, give me some key games. I mean, honestly, the Iowa State game, second game of the year, is always a key game for them.
It's bragging rights. Of course, it's a key game for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's always. I
think it's Penn State, honestly, because if you get by against Iowa State and Wisconsin, and you maybe win the road games at USC and Nebraska, because you get Penn State, Indiana, Oregon at home. So win the tough road games. Iowa, you come home, you get to play a team like Penn State. Win that. That's likely the game of the year. So,
what about Oregon? Could you argue that their game against Oregon is probably?
I think it matters, but I think the Penn State really matters because you're playing at home. Like
that is true.
Really big. Well, and Oregon's home too. So, but I think Penn State play them first.
Yes, Penn State plays.
That's what I mean. Like you don't want to double loss that. Like
then it's Minnesota, then it's Oregon. So okay, you've convinced me. You've converted me to your view on the Penn State game.
so we're agreeing on the key games here.
Correct.
All right. Well, let's move on to our win total for the season for Iowa football. It's very important in the state of Iowa. John, what do you have for their total wins for the year?
I got 9. I got 8 or 9.
I mean, with that schedule, if they can get to 8-4, I think that'd be a pretty good run for them. Nicholas, what do you think?
Yeah, 8-4 is around the area I have. Either 7 or 8 because of how tough that road schedule is. But yeah, that's where I'm going to go. 7 to 8.
Okay. All right, guys. So that's going to wrap up Iowa. Our next one we're going to get to is Maryland. John? Yep, Maryland. Maryland, had a pretty decent year last year, and pretty decent season. And what do you think about the Terps this year, John?
Maryland. I actually like this Maryland team. It was not great last year. It was 4-8, but there was a stretch there where they was 23.
Maybe it was 2 years ago. They had a pretty good season.
You're only playing who's on your schedule, and they went 4-1. Was against Rutgers, a team that went 7-6 last year. Wasn't great. It's not like the success isn't there. Locksley, he beat Ohio State, Penn State, and Michigan. This year's schedule is not a big breeze either. Can
I be honest with you, John?
Well, last year they was really young too. So
yeah, but I kind of feel like this is a mediocre team.
Well, yeah, I mean it was a growing pain year last year. There were some good stuff that they got from the portal, and they should be better. But
I don't. Here's another thing too. I don't know about this head coach, Locksley. I really don't know about this guy. I don't think he's that great. I don't think he's that great of a coach.
Well, I don't think he's been. How long has he been there, John?
I think he's been there for 2 years, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, maybe 3, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think he's been there very long.
Well, I felt like the offense was really, really bad last year, but the defense
it was awful.
The defense was worse. The pass rush was probably the worst in the Big Ten. They allowed over 30 points per game. If you want a big jump around, you better hope some of these young guys can get their lumps in, because playing against that schedule, you're going to go up against some tough competition.
You think he's fired if they have another bad season this year?
It's a question.
I'm kind of leaning towards yes on that.
I mean, that's fair. Do they have any key players that you think that could help them win a few ball games, John?
I don't know, man. This is a mediocre team. I don't know if I have any key players.
I think you got to look at their run. I think you got to look at their. I think you got to look at their linebacker, Trey Reddick. He saw some action last year. He was in the rotation. I think he had a sack and 16 tackles. DJ Samuels is another one they got to change this defense around because the defense was atrocious last year.
Oh, it was bad. It was not good.
No, it was not.
Yeah, he was probably Trey Rodick was probably the only player that looked decent. I mean,
Yeah,
I can't name anyone else that is a real key player on that defense.
All right, so let's look at their schedule real quick, guys. I know they're playing kind of a tough schedule, so let's look at their schedule real quick and you do a quick rundown of their schedule.
Yeah, they play Fort Atlantic, Northern Illinois, Towson, Nebraska, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan State, Rutgers, UCLA, and Michigan. And I'm going to just go ahead
they've got a few games at the beginning that's winnable games.
Yeah,
if they could find
that second half is not good though for them.
They could find 2 or 3 wins in the Big Ten, I mean, they could push for a bowl possibly.
I think it's going to take an upset or two, but they should be 2 wins better. So, you ain't got Ohio State on the slate, and 3 of the 5 conference road games are against teams that didn't go to the bowl last year. So
was Oregon on there? I didn't hear Oregon.
No, Oregon is not on there.
Yeah, so I mean that's
they missed the top. I missed the top 2.
Yeah,
but if that defense plays like it did last year, I wouldn't be shocked if they get like 5 wins.
No, I mean, well, and you got the Florida Atlantic game, you got the Northern Illinois game, and the Towson game. You win those 3, you're pretty much 3-0, and then you play Wisconsin on the road, which give or take, Wisconsin, we'll talk about them in a little bit, but they're off and on at times. Like one good week you're going to get a good Wisconsin team, another week you don't know which Wisconsin team's going to show up. So I've already set my win total for Maryland. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you what I got.
Go ahead.
5 wins.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think they're going bowling.
So you've got them one win shy of going bowling, but 1 win more than they had last year. So
anything's better than nothing, Brad.
Right. All right. So that's Maryland. The next one we're going to get to, guys, is Michigan. Michigan, of course, 2 years ago won the college football playoff. Last year kind of struggled a bit, at least offensively. I felt like this team struggled last year. They still had a great defense, but they struggled for the biggest part of the year on offense. John, second year with their new coach, do you think they find some of that Harbaugh form?
Well, I mean, you got to think there was a lot of stuff new for this head coach, Sharon Moore. He had to deal with stuff with his staff, the Connor Staying shenanigans, the spying on other teams. Like Harbaugh left to go to the pros for the Chargers.
Yeah, because of his scandals and
he knew really hard to win football games last year with a lot going on, even a place like Michigan. But there's reason.
They did close out the year beating Ohio State again. The regular season, so it made a lot of Wolverine fans happy. Give me a key to this season, you think, for Michigan, John?
Is it going to be one of those teams that wins no matter what, Brad, or just because it's better or they have better talent? Or is it going to just be a fly-by-night thing where they go back to regular old Michigan that wins 8 or 9 games a year? Is Michigan really a threat with Sharon Moore?
Top-notch team, or are they just a really good team?
Yeah. We're about to find out. We're about to find out how good he really is. Like,
it depends on their QB play too, because are they going to start the Underwood, the freshman,
the rookie, the freshman? I mean, I don't know who's going to be their starting quarterback. I don't think they have named him, but it could be the freshman.
It's either going to be him or Keeney.
My biggest thing is I think they're another year away
Yeah.
You look at last year, the position at quarterback, it was a disaster. I think they'll be much improved with Underwood. They also got that's why I think he's a key transfer. Mikey Keene, the Fresno State quarterback.
Yep.
I don't think they're going to win the Big Ten. Now, I think they're going to be there with Illinois, Michigan, and Ohio State. But like I said, when it's all said and done, I think Ohio State's going to end up winning this conference. I just don't think there's anybody that can match Ohio State's level, talent-wise.
And it's going to suck too because there's so many questions on offense. This defense is really solid too, and they also got
solid last year. Their defense, it's always solid,
and especially since they got Don Wink Martindale to join the team, at defensive coordinator, which provided a big boost for them. And I'm rushing here, but for the defensive side, join the team. When you look at their defense, I really like Derek Moore. I really do. I think that kid's a leader. I think that kid is going to shine again. And I'm telling you, if he has a good season and he stays healthy, I wouldn't be shocked if he raises his draft stock into round 1.
Yeah. I like him. I think he's a good player. John, give me some more key players you think for this Michigan squad.
I think it has to be Mikey Keene, the quarterback. I think, do you trust a freshman like Bryce Underwood?
I'm not sure that I would, a true freshman.
This hasn't been really a good year for Michigan when it comes the last couple of years finding good quarterbacks. J.J. McCarthy was an exception, and now I think they got one in Keene, but it's going to be Bryce Underwood. He's the big fish in the cycle.
He's the future, for sure.
But I think Keene, when he's good enough passer to kind of fill the void of Underwood. He's a great option if, say Underwood gets hurt or if he struggles or he's a guy and just come in, they just flip the switch.
Right. All right, guys, let's look at their schedule. I know they play a tough game early.
Yeah, they play New Mexico at home, at Oklahoma, Central Michigan home, at Nebraska, open day. Then they play Wisconsin at home, at USC, home against Washington, at Michigan State, home against Purdue, open day at Northwestern, at Maryland, and they finish with the game against Ohio State.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so, John, before we get to anything else, we're going to talk about key games here. I personally believe that second game of the year for both squads, for Oklahoma and for Michigan, are key games.
I think it's key for Oklahoma because Brent Venables is on the hot flames. Like it's a must win for him to win a big game
at home,
and it's kind of big for Sharon Moore too. It's kind of elevating him to take Michigan to that next level.
Yep.
And you lose that game on the road and I wouldn't say that their schedule is like totally rough, but some of those games on the road are pretty challenging. They got USC on the road. Nebraska will be much improved. Michigan State's never an easy game in Lansing ever, especially under a rival game. So they need to win the Oklahoma game early to kind of bounce to what Michigan was when they won the national championship. Kind of get back to that level.
Yeah.
Nicholas, what do you think is key games here?
He took the words right out of my mouth. Dude, John, stop trying to steal my thoughts, man. You're making me you're taking all my ideas, man. No, it's on serious. I love you, John. I would probably have to say the Michigan State game would probably be their number 2 most important game because it is a rival and bragging rights and
right.
But yeah. I will say this though, Brad. Moore is more in a better position this year, than he was last year, and the defense is going to be another strength, like you said. They held Alabama and Ohio State to combine 23 points. If their defense can play to that level again, and get Bryce Underwood untracked and get him playing like the capable top recruit he is, I think Michigan's got a good chance of, making some noise this year.
Well, speaking of that, then give me a predicted win total that you have for this Michigan squad.
I got them going 9-3.
9-3.
I think there's 3 losses on that schedule. Oklahoma's
Nicholas?
1.
I can't go with 9 because I don't know how the quarterback play will be.
Well,
if they're going to go with the
look at their schedule though. They got New Mexico, that's 1. Central Michigan's 2. Nebraska's not an easy game, but I think they'll go on the road and win. That's 3. Wisconsin at home, 4. Washington's at home. That's probably 5. Purdue's at home, 6. Northwestern's at home, 7. Maryland's at home, 8. And then you kind of flip the game against Ohio State and win, which I don't think they'll beat Ohio State, even at home. Ohio State's on a different level than everybody else. So there's 8 or 9 wins there, I think.
But with how unknown the quarterback is,
yeah, that's the
I get what you're saying, but I'm kind of leaning towards 7 wins with this squad.
Yeah, I think that's about right. I mean, 9 if you upset a team or 2.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, I like that. We got a little bit of a difference. We got 1 at 7 and 1 at 9. I think Michigan fans would probably be happy with a 9-3 season. So we are going to move on and go to Michigan State next. John, what's your initial thoughts here with Michigan State and their coach? Let's start with that.
Can I be honest? I don't think he's that good of a coach. I mean, their offensive coaching's not good. Like, the only coach I like is probably the defensive coordinator in Joe Rossi.
You got to realize, though, Jonathan Smith took over a really tough situation last year.
He did.
They went to Morgan State. They went 5-7. They had a better record than I thought they could have. I thought
he'd done a good job.
And he had several young players. And now there's some experience back. They got some guys in the portal. What's not to like about Jonathan Smith's offense?
Yeah.
He loves to get it up and down the field. And they miss Ohio State and Purdue. So they only get Michigan and Penn State, and both of them are
not going to be very good. So they probably want to play Purdue.
Purdue's going to be a much better team, though.
I agree. I think Purdue will be much improved. It's just
now. Am I going to say Michigan State's going to go out and win 11 games? No, but I think getting to a bowl game for the first time in 4 years would be a great season for Coach Smith. I really do.
Yeah, I agree with that. Nicholas, what do you think about Michigan State just right off the bat?
I still think the defense is the key here for them. Like I said, I like the defensive coordinator. I think they got more pieces on defense than they do on offense. Like, the guy that I like the most is Chance Ruckert, the corner. I think he's really good.
I'm going to tell you what mine is.
Enlighten me.
It's Adam Childs. They're going to go as far as he goes. The talent is all there. And at some point it's going to click, but he has to be far better at throwing the ball on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
You got to move the chains. He can't keep putting the ball in the other team's arms like he did last year. Like, he's got to be better. I think the quarterback play is going to be very important for them this year.
Yeah. And
in that offense that Smith runs.
I'm not so sure they really have a competent backup option for
and I even think Joshua Eaton's huge for them. He didn't play much at Oklahoma. He went to, I think, Texas Tech. He transferred to Texas. No, it was Texas State.
Texas State.
And he ended up being one of the best corners in the Sun Belt. So I think he's a big piece to them. I think losing Charles Brantley was a big he was big on that defense last year. He transferred out. Michigan State's got some pieces there, young guys, but they're going to have to win some games. They're going to have to have better quarterback play to, get to a bowl game.
Yeah, I'm sort of in the same spot I am with Michigan, but I'm kind of a little lower on Michigan State. I know we're going a little early and we haven't gotten the schedule, but I kind of see 6 wins for them. 6 to 7.
I do. You
Give
want me
me
to go?
give me a quick schedule rundown for Michigan State.
They play Western Michigan at home. They play Boston College at home, Youngstown State at home, at USC, open date, at Nebraska, home against UCLA, at Indiana, Michigan at home, at Minnesota, open date, Penn State at home, Iowa on the road, and home against Maryland. They miss Illinois, Northwestern, Ohio State, Oregon, Purdue, Rutgers, and Washington.
Okay, so I think Wisconsin game pretty early there would be a big one for them.
It would, I think.
So just to throw in a key game there, kind of in the first 4 or 5 games, I think the Wisconsin game. All right, John.
No, actually, they don't play Wisconsin. You mean USC or Nebraska?
No, Nebraska. It was Nebraska game. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's on the road at Nebraska. I think that's a big game for them. But yeah, I got them at 6 wins. I think they'll go 6-6, and I think that's a great year for Jonathan Smith.
In year 2, I mean, I agree with you. He had a long build ahead of him when he took this job. The defense for years had been terrible. And I think he had a long build here. If he can get them to a bowl game in year 2, I think that'll be a big bonus.
Yeah, I do as well. I do. Yeah.
All right, we're going to get to Minnesota, John. PJ Fleck in Minnesota. You know, they're always good, but are they going to be any better than good?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think it was the 2019 team. They started out 9-0. They was at 10-1 going into the Wisconsin game. They lost. That was 5 years ago?
Yeah, it's
been
a while.
Finished in the college football playoff top 25 since that time.
Yeah.
But
there is some optimism this year up in Minnesota, not around the country, but in Minnesota, there is a little bit of optimism. Do you think that it's warranted, John?
I do. I think the defense is going to be strong again. I think the defense is really big for them. I think the offensive line is going to have to improve a little bit. They need more attacking through the air. They only scored more than 25 points 3 times last year.
Yeah.
And they really didn't do what they normally do under PJ Fleck, and that's run the football.
I don't understand that. Like, he's known for how he utilizes his running backs.
Well, I mean, they got Darius Taylor, AJ Turner, Cam Davis. I think
Cam Davis is intriguing.
Yeah, he's really, really good. So I think they need to get back to what PJ Fleck is known for, and that's run the football straight down your mouth. Like, get back to that ground and pound. Like I said,
to be fair, you got to have good offensive linemen to do that.
You do. You got to have some dudes up front. Yeah.
Yeah, their offensive line's a little shaky. I don't know. I mean, they got to get better at the run, but their O-line is their offensive line like.
I'll say the same thing with this team that I'll say with the SEC team that we all know and love, the Kentucky Wildcats. Get you better offensive line and run the football and get you some running backs and get back to your style of football. And we'll talk about Kentucky. We'll talk about Kentucky down the road, but they're sort of in the same position as Minnesota.
And I feel like that Mark Stoops and PJ Fleck, they both got, a little bit of buzz over the years. And they kind of play similar. I mean, so I agree with that assessment. John, give me some more key players you think for this Minnesota team.
Like I said, I think Cam Davis. There's a few guys. Cam Davis I think he's a transfer, ain't he, from Washington?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I think he's a big plus. I think the offensive lineman? Is it Landry?
You mean Nathan Roy?
I mean Drake Lindsay. I'm sorry.
He
was the No, that's the quarterback I'm thinking about.
Yeah, he plays. We're talking about the offensive
Drake Lindsey's
line.
I'm thinking about the quarterback. Even the quarterback position, I think Drake Lindsey's going to be really good. I think the offensive line needs to be better though, because I think the defense is going to be really good in Minnesota.
That's the key. Is the offensive line, I think.
Yeah, and keep in mind too, the right side of the line is what scares me a little, and especially long term because Ray and Marshall, the two blockers, they're in their senior year. They're done after this year, and I don't think they have like a backup plan for the right side of the line. So what they gotta do is they gotta like get prepared for life without them. And
I think Ashton Beers is going to be big for him up front too. Like him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's
Greg
a player.
Johnson. I think both of those are going to be kind of.
But I think you got to put Beer at center though. I mean, do they eventually like maybe flip him to the right guard position and experiment at center? But
it's possible.
I mean, it's so hard to think about it, but like that right side of that line scares me, and not in the good way. Not in the good way. The bad way.
I will say their schedule is winnable to get to a bowl game. I will say that. You know, they play Buffalo at home, Northwestern State at home. They play at Cal, which Cal will be much improved as well, but they did lose some key pieces. Cal did. They lost a top running back to I think it was Oklahoma. Then they have an open date, Rutgers at home, at Ohio State, Purdue at home, Nebraska at home, at Iowa, Michigan State at home, open date, at Oregon, at Northwestern, and Wisconsin at home.
I mean, that's not a brutal schedule, to be honest.
No, not bad.
I think there's 7 wins in there.
I'm leaning towards 7 too.
7-5 is good, but a lot of fans are not going to be happy with that because PJ Fleck is more than that. And I think they're going to have to get used to that, I guess, until he gets his, motor back to roll.
Like you said, if they can get back to the offense that they had 4 or 5 years ago, then I think they can be much improved and maybe get to that 9-win mark or something. But
he needs to get back to the rowing the boat, PJ Fleck. That's what I was trying to get. Like, he's not that same. He's not the same coach like he was. Like, I don't know if he got comfortable. Like we always say, like Mark Stoops, did you get comfortable in that position and just kind of just like stay in that little moment where, hey, I'm enjoying this job and I don't want to change any. Like, improve your situation and get back to what PJ Fleck does best, and I think that's run the ball. But you got, like you said, you got to have an offensive line to do that.
Yeah, and the right side is just
give me a prediction, Nicholas, for the amount of wins you think this Minnesota team can have.
I'm gonna go 7-2. I think John's correct there. I
think there's a good chance for them to start 4-0, like because they play Buffalo, Northwestern State, Cal, and Rutgers. Like, you're 4-0 going to Ohio State. Like,
you could be
a better start than that.
If you don't go 4-0, or if you go like 2-2, then there's a real problem there.
Oh yeah. I agree with that.
No doubt.
I agree with that 100%. All right, guys, we're going to move on to the next one. Nebraska. Matt Rule, I think now is in his 3rd year there at Nebraska, John. They got the quarterback. He was a true freshman, played all year last year, Raiola. So what do you think we see? We saw a little bit of improvement last year. Do we see any kind of big jump this year with Nebraska?
Man, for a program that used to be a 9-win team every
11-win team. What are you talking about?
Going 7 straight seasons without coming up with a winning record. Like, how is that happening? Like, this is Nebraska football we're talking about, Brad.
I know. It's crazy.
You can understand why 6-6, going 7-6, whatever you say, going to the Pinstripe Bowl was probably not what their fans envisioned. Like,
Well, I mean, they have the number one quarterback in the country out of the 24 class. And he played as a true freshman.
Yeah, he was really good. He's a rising star at the quarterback position. You got to look at Rule, though. That's what I want to kind of look at. Like Temple, he went from 2 wins to 6 to 10 and then 10 again. Baylor, he went from 1 win to 7 to wherever Matt Rule has went, he wins.
He's made a jump.
Yeah,
it's now year 3.
Yeah,
there's a lot of expectations there, and I think you want to go from not 5 wins to 3 or 2. You want to go from 5 or 6 wins to 7 wins. They're supposed to be national title good, and
I don't see it. I just don't see it.
I'm not saying that, Nick, but I'm saying that's what their fans expect.
I don't understand that because they're not even close to that level.
Oh, I get that, but that's Nebraska football.
Hey, Nebraska fans, you do realize your defense isn't good, right? I don't think their defense is that great, and I kind of think their defensive coordinator is not good. I don't really like this John Butler. I think he's.
I guess that's a key to your season is their defense.
Yeah, they got to
to
clean up that defense, and I just don't know if they have the right guy leading the team at defensive.
I want to tell you this much. Per FanDuel, Nebraska's 7th best odds at winning the Big Tens. Now that's probably not,
I think that's Matt Rule. I think that's because Matt Rule's the head coach.
But I'm going to kind of deep dive in here. I think one of their key players is Dan Key from Kentucky. Bringing him in.
Dan Key to go with Raiola. I mean, seriously, they could be a deadly combo.
I think he can help solve that downfield passing issue they had a year ago. Adding a threat like him on the outside is really, he averaged 14.2 yards per catch over 3 years at Kentucky. So, he had some good years at Kentucky, and I think he'll have an even better year at Nebraska.
He's got a good quarterback. He's got a good quarterback throwing it to him. That's for sure.
I think Elijah Judy's another one up front on the defensive tackle position. I think he's a really big piece up front. They got some pieces there. It's just that year 3 is where everybody starts. You got to get higher. You got to get higher. You got to get higher wins. You got to figure it out. If I can't figure it out this year, then I don't know if there's ever hope for Nebraska football ever.
Nick, I don't think. What do you think as far as key players?
Yeah, he named them. I do love. Man, I loved Dane Key. That kid is very good.
Was tough.
I watched some tape on him in Kentucky. Him going to Nebraska, he'll easily be the number 1 receiver on that team.
Oh yeah, I think so for sure.
I think he will be.
Yeah, but I got a question for you guys. If Nebraska has 6 or 5 wins, do you think that Matt Rule, will Matt Rule's job be in danger, or will they push that to year 4?
I think they'll push it to year 4. Just to be honest with you,
then
unless the wheels just completely fall off. But I do believe they get.
Unless it just completely gets out of control,
or will they scapegoat the defensive coordinator? Because
probably the defensive coordinator.
I'm going to tell you, I'm looking at this schedule, the schedule rundown, and there is some winnable games here.
Well, they start out with Colorado. I know that, so that's going to be a big one.
Well,
I love Colorado in that game, by the way.
I'm telling you, that's going to be a big game off the bat.
Actually, it's Cincinnati.
Oh, really?
Cincinnati?
Yeah, they don't play Colorado. They don't play Colorado this year.
Oh, that's right. It's Georgia Tech that played. They played them last year. That's right.
Oh, I thought they played them again this year.
No, I'm sorry.
No, it's in Kansas City. The Cincinnati game is.
Oh, that's right. Silly me.
Yeah.
Then they play Akron, Houston Christian, Michigan, All those are home games except for the Kansas City game.
Dang, I wish they were playing Colorado. That would have been free money to bet
The
Colorado.
open day, Michigan State at home, at Maryland, at Minnesota, Northwestern at home, USC at home, at UCLA, open date at Penn State, and home against Iowa. Like, there's winnable games in there. Like,
That's a pretty manageable schedule for the Big Ten.
it is. Like Michigan State, Maryland, Minnesota, like
Northwestern.
That little stretch at the end there is not bad.
That's actually a pretty manageable schedule. So, Nicholas, give me a couple of key games you think for them.
Oh boy.
I think the Michigan game's pretty huge.
Probably the Michigan game.
Because it's a home game.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Michigan.
Because you're 3-0. Say you're 3-0, and then you got Michigan State, Maryland, Minnesota, Northwestern. You upset Michigan. You got a shot going 6, 7-0.
You got a chance of being 7-0. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
boy, yeah.
Could this team get to that? I mean, if he can do that, then I think no matter what happens towards the end of the year, I think Nebraska fans will be happy if he can get to 7-0.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be.
I think Nebraska fans will be happy to get 7 wins in general. To be honest with you, they're like desperate.
Yeah, but when you look at their schedule, I'm just saying that. I mean, if they could win a couple of those games and get past Michigan at home, I mean, it's doable. 7-0.
It is. It's like I was looking at. I was like, man, there's like 8 wins in here. Like if you upset a couple of teams,
I'm leaning towards the 6 range. I just can't.
I think I'm going to go 7. I'm going to switch up on you here. I'm going to do 7 and let you do.
I'll go 6. I can't trust that defense. I'm sorry.
Well, I'll tell you what on this one. I do think that we will see an improvement here in year 3. We usually do with Matt Rule teams. I'm going to go 7, but I'm going to tell you guys something. It would not shock me if this team gets one upset win and gets to 8 wins. It would not shock me. The schedule is manageable, if you ask me.
That's fair.
All right, we're going to get to Northwestern. Northwestern, real quick. I mean, gosh, they've been through scandals and they've been through a lot of stuff.
This university is a disgrace.
Yeah, listen, we're not going to spend a ton of time on them, but I do want to get to, a program that had a coach that played for them, that seemed to be doing pretty good, and then a ton of scandals comes through, John, and they've kind of been rocked ever since that happened a couple of years ago before the season started. Do you think they at least have a footing now to move forward with, John?
I think they do. This is probably when your third-year head coach, Braun, probably needs to show that they're getting to that point, ready to make that entrance, because they're going into a new stadium here pretty soon. A nice field, actually. It's I think it's the Northwestern Medicine Field at Martin Stadium, I think. So I think they'll be good. I think they got a chance at being a team like the 2023 team. Last year was just
I
mean, yeah, I don't want to say
it's basically an Antonio Brown level of train wreck. That's how let's describe that season.
They've been through a bunch of scandals, man. It's a wonder the program even stayed together.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I call it an Antonio Brown level train wreck. Like, I can't believe how. I mean,
I think the quarterback play be better. They got Preston Stone, the former SMU quarterback.
Quarterback. I mean, and listen, he's a good quarterback.
He is. He's really good. He was good at SMU. I think Kim Porter is really good. He's a solid back. I think he could do what he did last year. They did lose Josh Thompson to LSU, which would be a big loss. But I think, they went in the portal. The defense didn't get any help last year. The defense was actually really good last year.
Yeah. One guy I want to shout out on the defense is Anto Saka. I think he's a really good player that I like on defense. But here's the problem with this team. Not only the scandals are a problem, you might think I'm crazy here. I think they have the worst coach in the Big Ten. I think David Braun is the worst coach in the Big Ten.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't see 6 wins on this schedule.
I don't see 4 wins on this schedule.
To be fair, they play.
Well, let's take a quick look at it. At the schedule.
They play at Tulane first game right out of the gate.
Loss.
Yeah.
Western Illinois at home.
Loss.
That's possible win. Oregon at home, possible loss. Open day, UCLA at home.
Loss.
They play University of Louisiana Monroe. That's a possible win.
Yeah, I'll give them that one.
At Penn State, home against Purdue. At Nebraska, open date. And this is where it gets ram-packed. At USC, Michigan, Minnesota, and at Illinois.
I think now that I think about it, I think 4 wins is too rich. I think I'm going to go with 2.
I got 4.
I only see 2 wins on the schedule.
I think
gosh, guys, I'm thinking 3 or 4 at the max is about all I see there.
I think there's 4.
And I think no matter what, they clean house after this year. I think the coaching staff's going.
Well, listen, after Fitzgerald, that is his name, right?
Yeah.
Fitzgerald. Pat Fitzgerald. Yeah. After Fitzgerald, and the way things ended and the scandals that happened and everything, it's a wonder that they even landed a coach that wanted the job, to be honest with you. So, Nicholas, you are talking about the worst coach in the Big Ten. To be honest with you, man, let's give him a little bit of credit for stepping into a really, really bad situation.
Yeah, it's sort of like I'm trying to give a good example here. It's sort of like who's the Panthers head coach right now in Carolina. Dan Morgan, I think his name is, if I remember correctly. The Carolina Panthers head coach who walked in he walked into a bad situation there.
Yeah.
And there's promise. Not saying it's great promise, but there's something. And
right.
I that's sort of like the mentality I have here at Northwestern, but I'm sorry. I get he stepped into a bad situation, but I just don't see him as a head coach. I'm sorry.
And guess who we got next?
We got Ohio State next.
What a turnaround! What a turnaround!
Yeah, from Northwestern to Ohio State. So, John, preseason poll come out. For the coaches poll this past week, they are number 2 in the preseason poll. They are the returning champs from last year. So what's your initial thoughts on Ryan Day in Ohio State?
Listen to this. This is going to absolutely blow your mind. Ryan Day is 70-10 in his first 80 games.
Yep.
Wow.
That's an 875% clip.
Yep. He's been amazing, and people give him such a hard time because he has lost some games against Michigan, basically. Outside of that, I don't know what you could knock him for outside of that, to be honest. But, just talking about some of the personnel with this team, John, man, the only thing that I will say that concerns me about this team, and we will get to this, but for a key to me for this season and this team is going to be the quarterback play.
Yeah,
counting on a freshman to come in and lead the Ohio State to a national title is a lot, if you ask me.
He was, and people forget he was a 5-star for Bama, and he moved to Ohio State.
I think he's still a redshirt freshman, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now they did lose Oboku, the veteran, but they get Jeremiah Bullfrog Smith, like
Yeah,
bro.
there's that Jeremiah Smith for sure.
Jeremiah
So
Bullfrog. I mean,
yeah,
he's a superstar, man. He's really,
Caleb
really good.
Downs on defense. I mean,
You know,
golly.
Don't forget.
Carnell Tate.
Yeah, I was
he's
about to say,
back.
don't forget about Carnell Tate. That dude's a superstar, man. Max Clare, you can't forget about him.
You just don't replace. And then on the running back side, it's hard to replace guys like Quinshawn Junkins and Trayvon Henderson.
It is, man. Like the quarterback and the running back, I don't think people are thinking quite straight for me on this Ohio State team, just to be honest with you. But I'm going to give them their due and their flowers. Like he's running an awesome program. The talent around them is loaded. The team is loaded. I'm not going to sit here and act like they're not.
Look at their defense. Look at all the talent that they have.
Well,
I mean,
you know, they went into the portal. They got C.J. Donaldson from West Virginia. They bring James Peoples back, who's going to be really big for them.
And I got to mention this one guy because I think he's one of the better. He might be the best defensive prospect in next year's class. This Caleb Downs, man. I mean, I know he plays safety, but he legit might be one of the best safety prospects I've seen.
He's the best player in college football. Like,
he's special.
You know, everybody's probably going to look back at Jack Sawyer's scoop and score, but people don't realize that was set up by Caleb Downs.
Yeah,
on the run.
Yeah. But again, here's my biggest thing with Ohio State. Counting on a freshman who's never started and played a whole lot of games, redshirt freshman, Julian Say is like, I'm not saying, look, if you want to say you can count on him to get you 8 or 9 wins and be happy with that, with this team, absolutely he can do that. But to put the pressure on this kid to carry them to a Big Ten championship, to the college football playoff, to a repeat, like that's a lot to put on a young kid.
Well, and then we can kind of just go through their, schedule rundown. They welcome to the big show. Play Texas right out of the gate.
The best game. Listen, one of the best opening games of college football that I've ever seen. Number 1 versus number 2. It is a rematch of the national semifinals last season.
And it's a noon kickoff.
Yes, it's the big noon kickoff.
It's the prime time.
I'm so hyped for this game, guys. You have no idea.
That's what I said. You have no idea how much I'm happy about this. They play Texas starting out, Grambling State at home, Ohio at home, open day at Washington, Minnesota at home, at Illinois, at Wisconsin, open day, Penn State at home, at Purdue, UCLA at home, Rutgers at home, and at Michigan. The only big team they miss, well, the only 2 big ones they miss is USC and Oregon this year.
Yep. But they get Texas right off the bat.
Texas, yeah. I'm going to go.
That game's going to be.
I guess I'm going to go 10-2 on this, and I think in their key game, I think it has to be Texas right out of the gate. I guess that's all. So
you guys might call me crazy here. I don't know. 12-0. I think they win every single game. I can't get there. I get it, but the freshman QB he could just be serviceable. This defense is stacked.
There, man.
Here's the question.
Saying a freshman QB is serviceable, I mean, they make mistakes. They put the ball
I understand.
I think Ohio State is probably one of the toughest teams to judge going into this year. You know, they got talent at every position. Like we said, they got Caleb Downs. They got the quarterback, the freshman, the running back. But for me, it's just really hard for any team to lose what they did. Their like the 2 running backs and be just as good.
13 NFL draft picks or something like that.
I
Well, one of them might not ever play a down in football, so let's hold on.
I think we're I think Ohio State is being overvalued a little bit entering this year. I think Penn State might be the better team overall as a cohesive unit.
But you can't
Maybe.
ignore, like, I like James Peoples a lot, but I kind of like CJ Donaldson at running back for them too.
Yeah,
I
he's
really
good.
do.
He was good at West Virginia.
Yeah, I was about to say, go watch his tape at West Virginia. That kid is a player. And now that he's got a brick wall on the offensive line, that kid's going to be a superstar.
Okay, guys, I'm going to put them at either 10 or 11 wins.
12.
I do think they go back to the college football playoff, but I'm just telling you, a freshman sometimes puts the ball in the wrong spots, makes bad decisions. And I believe that will be the holdback of this very talented Ohio State team in the end.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they go 12 wins. I'm doing
I think
it.
they win 10 games, but I think there's probably maybe 2 losses on this schedule, and the 2 I'm looking at are Texas and Illinois. Beyond that, I don't think there's really a loss there. I think they win the majority, but they beat Texas. They're probably going undefeated.
They could.
So,
all right, we're going to move on to Oregon. John, I'm going to be honest with you. I love Dan Lanning. I love his coaching. I love the way he loves his players. I love the way he treats his players, his wife, his family, everybody, and the things they do for their players. He is such not just a good coach, but a good human being. And Oregon is very lucky to have Dan Lanning out there at Eugene.
He's the best coach.
I'm going to say this. Everybody says, well, do they have the talent this year to win the whole thing? Yes. But I don't think it's going to be the offense this year like it was a year ago. I think it's going to be the defense. They got some depth. They're young, but they got plenty of options. They have I wouldn't say they have experience, but they got a coaching staff that's probably one of the most underrated in the country.
I think he's the best in the Big Ten. To be
there's
honest
no Ohio State or Michigan on their schedule, and they're probably going to be favored in every single game, probably except Penn State, most likely. So,
when we get to the schedule rundown here, man, I think Oregon's path is pretty open for the.
Do you notice how Oregon has been the type of team that you look at them. They've been in the Rose Bowl. They've been to the Cotton Bowl. They've done all these things. They're so close to knocking down the door.
They were very close last year. I mean, they won the Big Ten regular season, undefeated.
I think their key of their season is going to be their defense, though.
Oh, yeah.
I think their defense is going to be really big for them. I think they need to get more out of their running game a little bit. It was kind of pedestrian last year a little bit. But I think their key player is Dante Moore, their quarterback. Moore is really, really good. He was a freshman. I think he played for Chip Kelly at UCLA. And he was in Oregon system last year, so he kind of backed up. Dylan Gabriel kind of figured out how to run the offense a little bit. So,
before we move on from that, I'm going to go back to Nicholas here and let you talk about some of the keys you think, and talk about Dan Lanning and what Oregon has done out there in Eugene.
I got to tell you, the one player you forgot to mention, Mekhi Hughes. I like that kid a lot, and he'll help the running game for Oregon. I really love this staff. I really love this defense. And with the addition of Dylan Theinman, I think that secondary just got bolstered a lot. And I do agree with you. Their run defense needs some work. And I think that's the only loophole and weakness to this squad. But besides that, and looking at their schedule, I see them at 11 wins. I just got to add the one on there.
You know, they play Montana State, Oklahoma State at home, at Northwestern, Oregon State, at Penn State, open date, Indiana at home. I'm trying to see, at Rutgers, Wisconsin home, open day, at Iowa, Minnesota at home, USC at home, and at Washington. I'm going to tell you right now, if they go on the road and they can beat Penn State,
like they could be undefeated again.
They're going undefeated because they're probably going to be favored in 11 of their 12 games. And people don't realize Penn State's going to be much improved. And we'll talk about them in a minute, but they're going to be a lot better this year than they was a year ago. So,
but I'm telling you, looking at this Oregon schedule, man, like I just don't see anything less than 10 wins here. That's just my personal opinion. But Nicholas, what do you think is some key games here for them?
Yeah, Penn State. That's the game. I think is key for them, especially for them to go undefeated. I still think they lose that game because I think Penn State is improved so much, and we'll get to Penn State. I don't know if they're next on the list, but
they're close to next. I know.
Yeah.
I just think that game is the game. Like you win that game, you're probably going undefeated.
Probably, unless injuries occur. Because besides that,
well, I mean, you got to think the road games, Northwestern, Iowa, Rutgers, and Washington, all of those are winnable.
Yep, they are.
So,
all right.
And this ain't your same Oregon team either that goes on the road and loses ever so often. Like this is a whole different Oregon program under Dan Lanning.
I'm telling you, Dan Lanning is one heck of a coach, and not just it's the way he treats his players and gets them to play for him. I mean, it's amazing. It really is.
10, Brad. I got 10. I think they're back in the college football playoff again.
All right. You're saying 10. Nicholas, what do you think?
11.
That's kind of where I am with Oregon is 11 wins. I really think looking at their schedule that they could get to 11 wins and back in the playoff. I really do. And maybe have a chance to win the Big Ten again. To be quite honest with you,
I still think Ohio State wins the Big Ten, but Oregon's definitely number 2.
Well, so Penn State is right up there as well. And to be honest with you, John, a lot of people are kind of predicting that Penn State might be at the top of the Big Ten this year. They have Drew Allard back. Of course, again, this will be his third year being a starter there at Penn State. What do you think about the Nittany Lions here, John?
I love Penn State, but me and you have talked about this from the day that James Franklin put his name in there.
He wins a lot of ball games. He just can't beat the big ones.
He can't win the big one, man. He struggled against Ohio State and Michigan.
He's basically the Mike Tomlin of the NCAA, where he's a great coach, but when it comes to games that matter, especially if it's in the playoffs.
See, here's the thing: you're not happy. You want more. How many coaches still around in 14 have won 70% of their games besides Franklin?
Well, I mean,
Dabo,
not very many. And to be honest with you, John,
the only one that comes to my mind is Saban.
It's Dabo Swinney. That's it.
Oh,
they made it. They made it to the college football playoff last year and won a game. So they did win a big game last year. Nicholas, do you think that will help them going in mentality-wise into this season?
Yes, absolutely. It was a morale booster, not just with the.
I think it will.
Not just with the locker room, but with the coaching staff, because
and you got Allard that was a part of that, and he's back, and Danny
Dennis Sutton's also back. there's a lot to like with this team, and I'll tell you, I like AJ Harris too, the corner. I think
I want to tell you who I like is Drew Allard. They haven't had a
Who
quarterback.
doesn't like Drew Allard? I'm giving names that I don't want to mention that are
I'm
Drew
going to just tell
Allard.
you, he's their key to their season. Like when he plays good, they play good. I think Zurian Fisher's another one. He's a key player.
I think losing Warren is going to hurt a little bit.
Oh,
Abdul
yeah.
Carter
Right
will
in.
be a big piece too. Losing Abdul Carter, that was probably their
Is it going to be
most
Luke? Is it going to be
impactful guy.
Luke Reynolds that replaces Warren, or is it going to be Khalil Jenkins? I think his name is.
I think you got to look at Amari Campbell too. He's coming. He was a freshman at North Carolina last year. He's going to be pretty good at linebacker. And this is a linebacker U. Brad talked about the cornerback U of Kentucky. This place salivates at the fact of linebacker.
Linebackers, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's a top place for those. You want me to do their schedule rundown real quick?
Yep. Let's look at their schedule real
They
quick.
play Nevada at home, Florida International home, Villanova at home, open day at or home against Oregon, at UCLA, Northwestern home, at Iowa, open day at Ohio State, home against Indiana, at Michigan State, Nebraska home, and at Rutgers. I'm going to say this.
So outside of Ohio State and Ohio State, it's a pretty manageable schedule.
There's only one landmine that they could trip up on.
Ohio State.
Nope. At Iowa in October 18th.
Yeah.
Because
At
Iowa's a tough. Kinnick Stadium is a tough. And Penn State, if people don't recall, they have struggled sometimes at Kinnick Stadium.
Yeah.
In Iowa. So that's you got to win the Oregon game, in my opinion. Like you cannot, because if you lose that game, you're going to be sweating because you're going to have a game against at Iowa and then you're going to have Ohio State. Like you can't lose all three of those.
No, but if you can get by and just and go 10-2, however you get there, then I think this team has a good shot at a college football playoff again. To be honest,
they do. I think so too.
With Aller at quarterback, no matter what, they're absolutely contenders for that playoff spot.
And I'm going to go 11-1, Brad. I think their only loss is to Ohio State.
Oh, so you got them cashing in and winning a big game versus Oregon.
I think they finally do it. I think they finally beat Oregon this year.
Listen, like I said, they did win a college football playoff game last year. You have to give James Franklin that credit. And this team has some pieces returning that maybe learned a lesson and learned how to do it last year. So with that said, Nicholas, what do you think? Win total?
I'll join you, John. 11 wins.
Ooh, so
I'll join you.
I'm going to say 10, but I still think they are a very, very big contender for the college football playoff at 10 wins. Could they get to 11? Yes. I fully agree with you guys. I really liked this Penn State team, and I love the way Penn State ended their season last year, making the college football playoff and winning a game.
Here's another team coming up. We won't really need to talk about it very long because
they're another mess of a university in Purdue.
Yeah, the next one we're going to talk about, guys, is Purdue. Listen, for sure, I'm going to tell you guys this. They have two returning starters.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Did you hear me?
Everything. They overhauled everything this offseason.
Yeah,
they overhauled everything.
Two returning starters.
Two.
And you want to know what's crazy?
Barry Odom still has a job.
And
that's what's crazy.
They was just in the they lost to Michigan in the Big Ten. Was it the Big Ten championship in 22?
Yeah, but that was with Braum. I mean,
and that's like I said, he left for Louisville, and then things went downhill. Like it was just.
And so, did they get rid of the guy that they hired, or is he back?
No, they got
No.
Barry Odom.
That's what I thought. That's right. So they got a new. Listen, I do like Barry Odom as a coach. I think he will get them turned around.
I just
I'm going
think
to
he's
say
in a bad
this.
spot.
I don't think this is going to be the type of Indiana run that they had last year because the schedule is just absolutely brutal.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying this year. I'm saying Barry Odom will get this program back.
But 7.8 points per game over the last 6. God, you got to be better, don't you?
Good grief.
I mean, do you have to be better? Like,
I'm telling you, I had a hard time watching Kentucky at 12.8 or whatever it was.
I mean, come on now. Like
7?
The thing with Odom, though, is like
I think you got to get the passing game going too.
Yeah.
Hey, look at the job Odom did at UNLV. If he can turn UNLV around.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think what he did this offseason, only bringing 2 guys, and I think he wants to bring his people in, his players that he wants.
Well, and I think, having TJ Lindsey, he's a redshirt freshman, I think. Harkless, Marcus Moore, they got some decent defensive tackles. The defense wasn't awful last year, but
the offense was.
But they ran on them. They hammered them in the run game. So there has to be some kind of better effort this year from Purdue. I'm going to tell you something. If he can win at UNLV,
that's what I said. He can win.
He can win at West Lafayette. Like there's
sure
no
he can win at UNLV. Now I know UNLV probably has a little tougher schedule, but let's be honest. The bottom half of the Big Ten is not tremendous. Like it's not out of the question that you can't win half of those games.
No. And I'm just going to get to their schedule, Brad, because it's brutal.
Yeah. I'm just going to make a bold prediction here before you say this. I'm just putting up the number of wins that they are going to get.
So they play Ball State first at home. They play Southern Illinois at home, which they should go 2-0, really.
Yeah.
Then they play USC at home, at Notre Dame, open day, Illinois at home, at Minnesota, at Northwestern, and Rutgers at home. This is where it gets bad.
Northwestern and Rutgers could be wins.
Yeah. This is where it gets bad. At Michigan, Ohio State.
Oh, my God.
At Washington, and then Indiana.
Oh, my God. That's so bad. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's a reason why I think they're only going to win. There's a reason why I think they're only going to win 3 games this year, and that ending is why.
Looking at that schedule, Northwestern and Rutgers are very important games to this Purdue.
Question. No question.
Yeah, 100%. If they could find some wins against Northwestern and Rutgers, maybe they get to 4 or 5 wins. Maybe 4.
I just don't see it. I mean, maybe Northwestern you could probably throw in the win. I'll boost my win total to 4, but I just don't see it with this team. With how much overhaul has been going on, I can't buy this team. Next year is the make or break. Though.
Yeah, with Odom. Yeah, I mean, I think Odom will get them turned around. I just don't think it'll be this year. I agree with you. It's going to be 3 or 4 wins.
I don't think it's an Indiana resurrection like last year. The schedule's too tough.
No, they're going to need more than a resurrection for Purdue here.
Yeah, they're going to need.
They're going to need the Undertaker.
They're going to
need the Undertaker.
Well, oh my God, no, that's Northwestern. They're gonna need Kane and the Undertaker for that one, and Paul Bear with the urn basically trying to help them out. With the urn having like a light going out of there and like signaling for help. That's Northwestern right now. Yeah, that's Paul Haim. They're basically Paul Bear like waving the urn around with the light in there. That's Northwestern.
I want to.
And then you have Purdue. Then you have Purdue like down the block where the Undertaker is right now, just driving.
I want to start out saying something about Rutgers.
So I got to ask you about their coach,
Greg Schiano.
Yeah, I mean, do you think he is safe here this year, or what do you think?
I don't think he's going to have the same success he had when he first started there, because the Big Ten's a lot better. but he's had 2 straight winning seasons.
He has.
Now, they still don't get the top talent like the top teams in the middle of the pack, but they're still consistent. He's rebuilt it 5 years. This probably is going to be his best team he's had at Rutgers since he's been there, his second time.
I think the biggest mistake he ever made, by the way, I thought Greg Schiano, great coach. The biggest mistake he ever made was going to the NFL to coach the Buccaneers, because it's all been downhill from there.
Yeah.
He hasn't recovered since.
I think they're going to be good offensively. I think their defense wasn't good enough last year. Now, they was good against mediocre teams, but when they played some really good teams, they gave up a lot of yardage and a lot of points. It's going to have to be better. Now, they got a whole front line of guys from the portal. I think Bradley Weaver out of Ohio was one of the max top pass rushers the last 2 years. They got some guys from the Sun Belt. They got some decent linebacker guys. Moses Walker is one of them.
Yeah.
If the pass rush is better, I think you're going to see a better Rutgers team, because their offense is going to be – I think the passing game's got to get better a little bit, but I think overall they're going to be a lot better team than they was a year ago.
Who do you see as a standout in the secondary? Because, to be honest, I couldn't decide between either Bo Masco or –
probably Masco. I think Masco's going to be really good. I think their quarterback's going to be good.
I agree with that. I agree. I really do like I can't say his last name. I'm going to call him Ethan. I think Ethan's going to be
Kalakit Manus or something. I can't.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think he's
going to be
Don't
really
ask
good.
me. I don't know how to pronounce those kind of names, so
I don't know either. I don't want to get in trouble.
I have no idea.
Yeah, Brad sometimes butchers.
Listen, we've been doing this a long time. Ask John. There's been names I just won't even attempt.
No. I will say something when we get to the UCLA one about what happened last year with a kicker. He tried to say his name and he got
oh my goodness.
That's all I gotta say.
Oh boy.
There's a chance for them to go to a bowl here.
So let's look at their schedule, John, and see what their schedule
They're
looks
probably going to start out 3-0. They play Ohio at home, Miami at home, University, Norfolk State, and then they play home against Iowa, at Minnesota, open day, at Washington, Oregon home, at Purdue, at Illinois, Maryland at home, open day, at Ohio State, and then they play Penn State at home.
So Maryland,
I think there's 6 wins there.
Yeah.
I think their key game's Iowa, because you beat Iowa, go 4-0, and you win that game at home, you're probably going to go bowling because you're going to win a couple more.
Well, they could go bowling in the bowling alley if things go wrong.
Yeah, they could.
I have them at 5 to 6 wins.
I got 6 wins. I think the key game, the swing game, is Iowa, because if you win that one, you're probably going to go bowling, because all you need is 2 more wins. And I think there's some, like the Purdue game's winnable, the Maryland game's winnable, Minnesota's even winnable on the road. So there's some winnable games there.
I agree with you. I'm going to go 5 or 6 with Rutgers here. And, I like the coach. I just don't think he's going to do what he did before, to be honest.
He should have never left Rutgers when he did to go coach in Tampa.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. All right, guys, Wisconsin. Now, John, I'm going to start out with, what do you really think the job that Luke Fickell's done here at Wisconsin? And did they make a mistake by their former coach?
That's a two-edged sword. I mean, I think
he was winning 8-9 games a year.
I don't know if I wouldn't say he's forgot how to coach, because you got to remember he was with Cincinnati, got him to the college football playoff.
Yeah.
He's just
not
been
and was running a great offense. The problem is Wisconsin's always been a run, and run some more team.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think it's because Phil Longo was more of like he favors more the pass than the run. And luckily he's gone now. I think they replaced him with Jeff Grimes.
I think last year the quarterback situation was really tough. Now this year they got more depth. It should be more better overall.
Who do you like more at running back, Darren Dupree or Cade? I can't say his last name. Yakimelli. I think that's how his last name.
I think it has to be Yakimelli.
I mean, Dylan Jones could be something.
See, here's the thing that bothers me about Wisconsin. They used to be so run heavy.
I mean, that they've always been. I mean, that's what they've always been.
The Ron Danes of the world, the what's the running back from the one that plays for the Chargers, or it's not the Chargers, it's plays in the NFL now. I can't.
Not Omarion Hampton.
No, it's on the tip of my tongue. He played Melvin
Gordon.
Melvin Gordon, which I don't even know if he's still with the Chargers, if he's out of the league.
No, I'm pretty sure he fumbled his retirement papers.
Like, they've had tons of running backs, and they ran for 1,844 yards. And that's not Wisconsin football.
Yeah, I know. That's been the problem. I said it, John, when they hired Fickle. I said he's not a match for Wisconsin's brand. He's just not.
Well, let's be fair, Brad. His quarterback play has not been real great. They get Graham Mertz. He went to Florida. They got Tyler Van Dyke, which I thought was a disaster.
I mean, he was a decent option. They haven't been able to do anything with him.
Well, and then they had Braden Locke, which he's at Arizona now. Now they got Billy Edwards Jr. from Maryland. He was really good, and they got Danny O'Neal from San Diego State, who's really, really good and a very talented guy. So
I mean, across the land, John, I'm going to be honest with you. I think Luke Fickell at Washington is one of, by far, the mixed-matched program coach places in the country. I just don't like the fit. I haven't from the beginning.
I want to be honest with you. I think the receiving core has very good potential here. They got Will Pauling from Notre Dame. They got C.J. Williams actually those two are gone. Will Pauling's gone to Notre Dame and C.J. Williams gone to Stanford. But they do get Vinny Anthony back. Kikahuna, that's his Trek Kikahuna. I think that's his name. He's a wide receiver.
Don't ask me. Don't ask. I have no idea.
And DeKale Crowdus, I think, former Kentucky player.
Crowdus.
There's some pieces there, but I don't like the schedule that they're playing. It's not great. Let's just be honest. Because they play Miami University at home, Middle Tennessee at home. They go to Alabama, Maryland at home, and then they have an open date. And I want to tell you, after this, hold your panties because it's about to get ugly.
What?
I said hold your drawers because it's about to get ugly.
Why?
They play at Michigan, Iowa, Ohio State, at Oregon, Washington, at Illinois, or at Indiana, Illinois, and then they finish with Minnesota.
Okay, John, I think you're right. Not only do I need to hold my boxers, not only do I need to hold the underwear, not only do I need to I need to hold the jock strap at this point because this is crazy. This is crazy. This list is crazy. Oh my God.
That's an absolute murderous.
Listen, Nicholas, let me ask you this. Wisconsin was used to winning 8 or 9 ball games a year. That fan base has to be getting tired of that. And when you look at their schedule, I mean, can you even find 4 wins?
I can't even find 3 wins on there, to be honest with you.
All right, let's look at it. They played Miami University. That's a win.
Loss.
Like, Middle Tennessee win.
Okay.
Alabama, they're probably going to lose that game. Alabama's going to
Yeah.
be much improved.
Yeah.
Maryland is a
Maybe.
50-50 game. That's 3.
Maybe.
Michigan probably lost on the road. Iowa at home, maybe 4.
Probably a loss. Probably, to be honest.
Ohio State lost at Oregon. They're probably going to lose at Oregon. Now, Washington's a winnable game at home. At Indiana is going to be tough. Illinois is going to be tough even at home. And then they go to Minnesota, which is, we don't, like we said, don't know how Minnesota is going to bounce back with Flex. So,
I mean, at best,
Yeah,
John,
man,
6 wins. That's at best.
I think 6 wins is pushing it.
does that get Fickle fired?
Oh,
I think it should.
I think he's the hottest.
Even if you get a bowl game?
I'll be honest with you, John. I told you from the beginning, I've never liked this fit. I can't imagine that the Wisconsin Badger fans are happy with what's gone on for the last 3 years. I think this is year 4, I believe now.
I didn't even get to tell you my win prediction.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's 5.
Do you think they get to 5?
I don't think Fickle is there next year.
It would not surprise me at all. This is one that I think they will move in a different direction.
Yep, I do too.
Nicholas, what do you think win total?
I think it's around the 3 to 4 range. I'm sorry, that schedule's brutal, and I think that Wisconsin's going to need to make a lot of changes and look themselves in the mirror because
they
need to get back. I'm just going to be honest with you. They need to get back to Wisconsin Badger football.
Run the ball.
I don't like what John said about Minnesota and PJ Fleck and row the boat and run the damn ball. I'm going to be honest with you. Wisconsin needs to load up and run the damn ball.
Yeah.
Get the big guys in, just like you've always done, and get those backs and run the damn ball. That's what's always won you 8 or 9 ball games a year.
But you always have to have an offensive line to do that, and I don't think they've had that in the last couple of years. 3.
All right, guys, we are going to run through a couple of these because we are pushing 2 hours. We got 3 teams left. Let's get to UCLA. John, this is another program that, last year was a rough year. First-year head coach.
Yeah, they've only had 3 winning seasons the last 9 years.
Yeah. I just don't see, to be honest with you, I don't see a whole lot of improvement here with UCLA.
I will say UCLA, they won 4 of its last 6 games. They were far more competitive than they was when they first started last year.
But you got to at least admit one thing though: the quarterback Nico Iamaleava, he's got talent.
Yeah, I mean he's good.
He doesn't have too.
Nico, I'm going to leave you.
Yeah, that's basically him because.
Well, I mean he upgrades the passing game. He has next level talent. But
he just doesn't have the receiver. The talent's not out there with him.
Yeah, I'm looking at the step chart right now. I just don't see a dependable target for him to throw to.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
I think the defense has got to be better too. The defense was really bad as well.
I'm even looking at the run game. I don't even
their
think
secondary is nothing. Their secondary is nothing but transfers.
That is true. Well, excluding Stewart, the safety.
Yeah, Stewart's
Nico for sure, and I'm not going to butcher his last name outside of me saying I'm going to leave you. Outside of that,
schedule
Nico is definitely a good quarterback. I want to say this directly to the camera, to Nico and to his father. Seriously, you're going to ruin this kid's career. Let the kid play. Stop worrying about money and let the kid develop and play football because he has talent.
Do you think he goes to the NFL draft because of how money driven that family scene comes across.
I mean, it's sad. I mean, you're going to ruin this kid's career.
oh no
And
question.
and congratulations, you're going to have 12 or 14 million dollars, and he's going to be out of football. I mean,
You
congratulations.
know what's crazy to me is I don't see even 5 wins on this schedule.
I agree with
You
you.
think Wisconsin's is bad?
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I mean,
I just had to put that in here, but let's get to the schedule rundown.
they play Utah first. That's a loss, most likely.
Yep.
New Mexico at home. No, actually, it's at UNLV. That's another tough game. But we don't know what UNLV is going to be since Barry Odom, which they got Dan Mullen now.
They got Dan Mullen. Yeah.
New Mexico at home. Open day at Northwestern. Penn State at Michigan State. Maryland home at Indiana. Open date. Nebraska at home. At Ohio State. Washington at home. And at USC.
Tough. I mean, it's tough.
I think they'll be more competitive this year, but I still don't think they'll get to a bowl. I think they'll win 5 games.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 5 games. You could maybe push it to 6 because they do have the quarterback talent.
Maybe the Northwestern, if they, maybe win one of those or the Michigan State game. Like you got to win at least. You got to upset one of the top things
to get to a bowl. I agree with you. 5 or 6 wins for this UCLA team is an absolute max, if you ask me.
Remember the kicker from last year, Brad?
Not really. Not really.
Baghdad.
Oh, that was the Baghdad guy?
Oh, man.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We
Brad
shouldn't be laughing.
Brad has to tell you that story later. He couldn't pronounce his name.
We shouldn't laugh at that.
I called him Baghdad because it was something close. I just called him that. Yeah. It was something close. It wasn't that. I just called the kid Baghdad. Okay, John. I do want to get to USC because here is another coach and another program that I think has gone downhill. I think the coach and the program have both gone downhill over the last couple of years. Do you think USC, do you think Lincoln Riley gets the ship turned around this season?
You got to think. He took Oklahoma to 4 straight conference championships, 4 straight college football playoff appearances. He was 10-2 his last season.
Yeah, and really hasn't done a whole lot since, to be honest.
He's not,
I don't like their offensive coordinator. I'm not a fan of Luke Hard at all.
Well, he went, I think his first year, I think USC's first year in the Big Ten, 6-6. They did beat LSU. They beat Texas A&M to finish the year out, and 5 of their 6 losses by a score.
Yeah, but USC is not happy. I mean, there's no way. I mean, they fire coaches that win 8 or 9 ball games.
But you got to remember, though, Brad, they should have beat Notre Dame.
Hey, I'm fine with that.
They lost to
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, it's USC. Some of those losses shouldn't be like that. His first year was good, but going 15-11 over the last, 2
years or whatever is pitiful at USC. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. For me, he's clearly on the hot seat.
I do.
Yeah.
I think he is.
But you can't deny one thing with this USC team. They have
talent.
They have weapons.
There's talent there. Like
the 2 that stand out to me, Jacoby Lane and McCly Lemon, those 2 are really talented.
Losing Zachariah Branch. Losing Branch is a big deal out there, I think. They lost Bear Alexander in the transfer portal. Yeah. I mean, they did lose some big pieces.
At quarterback, they have future New York Jet quarterback because the Jets love drafting USC quarterbacks. Jaden Maivia.
They lost Miller Moss. Miller Moss transferred. I mean, they lost some key players.
That is true. This team's in
And,
a
and
tough spot.
losing Woody Marks was huge too. Like he's at the Texans now. Like, and their schedule sets up for them. Like, they start out with let's see here, Missouri State. They play Georgia Southern at home. Play at Purdue, Michigan State at home, at Illinois. Open day, Michigan at home, at Notre Dame. Open day at Nebraska, Northwestern, Iowa, at Oregon, and home against UCLA. Like, there's probably 8 or 9 wins there. But if you keep dropping some of the losses, the unexplainable losses that
I'm going to say at Illinois and the Notre Dame game are going to be absolutely key games.
I agree with you.
I
think the Illinois is probably bigger, honestly.
Like those 2 games, out of the first 7 are going to be key, absolute just key games because the first 2 or 3 games there are probably wins. Just by looking at their schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but, I just think 7 wins, I don't think 7 wins is going to cut it at USC.
Not at USC, no.
No, I think
he's going
to need 8.
But I do
9.
I see this schedule and I'm going to go and put 9. I think there's 9 wins there.
I'm going to go with 7. I
think there's 9 wins there.
9's too rich.
But you can't lose these unexpected losses like you did. Like you lose to Michigan late last year. You lost to Notre Dame on a sack play, fumble. Like there was some games where you should have won those games.
Yeah, but listen, here's my deal. I don't trust them. I don't trust the defense. I don't trust Lincoln Riley's offense right now.
Yeah, and
I don't trust the quarterback. Like, I'm going to say 7 wins with Nicholas on them. Could they get to 8? Yes, they could. I think 9's a stretch. I just do.
Yeah, it's too
And
much.
I think that Lincoln Riley is clearly on the hot seat.
And I'm going to go as far as tell you this next one. I love this coach.
So we are going to move to Washington. First year head coach last year with Washington, coming off of a national championship game with Kalen DeBoer the year before. Of course, DeBoer goes to Bama. And Washington was kind of left reeling a little bit last year. They were close in some games.
Well, you got to think what he did at Arizona too. He had to rebuild the whole lines.
Yeah,
he had the overall talent. I think it's going to take another season at Washington to kind of get it rolling again.
Yeah, but last
year's team. It was off and on. They had the. If you remember the Washington State game late, the brutal Washington State game.
Yeah,
the game at Rutgers. They should have been 6-0 after beating Michigan.
Yeah.
They was 0-5 away from home. Lost to Oregon, Penn State, Indiana. They lost to Louisville in the Sun Bowl. Like, it just ended really tough. But to be fair, they was coming off a national championship. Like Brad said, Kalen DeBoer moved on to Alabama, and it's just really tough to kind of pull those pieces all together when they all go out through the transfer portal.
It's tough to keep that momentum, that's for sure.
It is.
Yeah,
and he brought in some guys from Arizona. He has DeMond Williams. He's a really good quarterback, I think. They got a boost at wide receiver. I think you're going to see a big bump this year when it comes to Washington. I think you're going to see a lot better team than they was a year ago.
Yeah, and
what do you think here?
I like the fact that they got Takario Davis from the transfer portal. I think that's a big boost to them.
Yeah, he was really good for Arizona.
I think,
he was one of the best cornerbacks in the Pac-12.
Yeah. That kid's a sneaky first-round prospect, by the way. I mean, if he can continue to play like he did in Arizona here, that kid could sneak into the first round of the 2026.
I mean, they're
NFL
tough
draft.
at home, guys. It was away where they had all their issues.
Yeah, they was 0-5 away from
Yeah.
home. So
Yeah.
and their schedule is not bad. Like they play Colorado State, play UC Davis, open day at Washington State, which is probably going to be a revenge type game from a year ago. Then they play Ohio State, and that's, like you said, the key game. I think that's the key game because you win the others and you beat Ohio State at home, which I don't think they will.
I mean, anybody who can beat Ohio State is a key game if you can win it.
Opportunity, yeah, because after that you got kind of a little stretch where you can win a little bit, 2 or 3 games at Maryland, Rutgers, at Michigan, Illinois, at Wisconsin, Purdue, at UCLA, and Oregon. Like, I think there's 7 wins here, possibly 8, if everything hits right.
So you got the Ohio State game as a key game. I think the Washington State game on the road is going to be a key game.
I think it's big. I think it's big because, like, that might be Ohio State's first big test on the road since Texas.
It will be,
and I think it's a big opportunity for Washington to kind of have that home crowd cooking because when they're good, that might be one of the most intimidating places to play in college football.
I mean, I agree with that.
That's a tough place to play.
I agree with that.
And I think the Apple Cup is important too. So,
yeah. So let's get to our win totals. Nicholas, I'll go to you first in this one. Where do you think Washington's win total is at the end of the year?
I'm debating between the 8, 7, or 6 range here. I'm going to go 8.
That's where I'm at. I'm going to go 8.
I think 8 would be a very good season for them and kind of pick up a little momentum from last year if they could get to 8. I'm thinking 7, possibly. I think 7 possibly, but 8 would be a pretty good season for them, I believe. If they can do that.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. I'm going to stick at 8 too.
All right, guys. So that is all 18 teams in the Big Ten. And these have gotten longer and longer and longer through the years because all these conferences keep adding teams. So and
the death of the Pac-12 too, kind of.
Yeah. So, all right, real quick, go to homefieldapparel.com. There is a huge can't miss kickoff going on. They have premium football boxes with 45 teams. Use our code CSCast. If you have never purchased from them, you will get a 15% discount. If you use our code, it does help us. So please check them out. Homefieldapparel.com. Can't miss kickoff premium football boxes. Check it out. Use CSCast as a code. We're on the Real Fresh channel, and with Stadium Rant again. Nicholas up at the top right is with Stadium Rant, Ringside Rant. Check them out.
Rant? I didn't know that.
What'd you say?
I didn't know you was.
It doesn't matter what you said, John. I had to pull that one. I had to.
No, but the thing is here, we're getting ready to pick our champions.
We are
the Big Ten.
Hang on. Before we get to that, I just run through a few things.
I didn't know you were doing this.
Yeah, new shows. We're going to do a Wildcat Weekly show for Kentucky Athletics. So we're covering volleyball, doing a little bit of football stuff for media, women's basketball, and we are looking forward to the spring and doing baseball and softball some too. So we're going to do a Wildcat Weekly show. That is going to be something new. Look for it to begin sometime in September. Bird's Eye View is helping us with photography with all of that. So I want to give him a shout out here as well. All right. So that was just a real quick rundown of some things to look forward to here. Guys, we're going to end the show going to do this. We're going to pick the two teams that you guys think is going to play and be in the Big Ten championship first. Nicholas, I'll go to you first. Give me your two teams that you think will play for the Big Ten championship.
Oregon and Ohio State.
All right. That
That's
was
who
who
I
it was
got.
last year. John,
no.
is that it?
I take that back. I got Ohio State and Penn State. I think Penn State finally gets her done this year. And I
Okay.
think they finally play for something that's more than just a normal game. Like,
So you
I
got
think
Ohio State and Penn State.
Mhm.
Gosh, I want to take Penn State, but I'm with Nicholas.
I actually think Penn State is more talented than they were ago. And
I do, but I'm going to stick with Oregon and Ohio State as my two teams that's playing. I think Penn State does have a real possibility of getting there, but I am going to stick with those two teams. And then to end the show, guys, we're going to pick our Big Ten champion. And then if you would like, you can give me a quick rundown of how many teams, Big Ten teams, you think will get into the college football playoff. So, Nicholas, I will start with you. Out of Oregon and Ohio State, who you have as your Big Ten winner?
Gotta be Ohio State. That excluding the quarterback, which there's concern there. I don't see a weakness on that team unless injuries occur. So
I don't either.
Ohio State.
I'm going to go with the Buckeyes.
God, I'm telling you, I just think it's going to bite them. I don't know if it's going to bite them in the Big Ten or if it's going to be in the college football playoff.
I'll go as far as saying this. Now, I think they're going to be great at every talent position available. But I'm with Brad. I think quarterback play could be a problem in certain games. Like, for example, the Texas game.
Yep.
But if they can overcome that and get some production out of Sayan and get him kind of rolling early, I think
it's just the pressure and them not knowing, and they make a mistake and throw it in the wrong spot. And next thing you know, it's a pick six, and it changes the game.
There's a team out there that I think is going to be much improved, and we'll talk about them later down the road. It's in 2 weeks, but
so
his first name rings with a K. His first name rings with a K, and his last starts with an S, and that should give you an idea who that is.
Let me ask you guys, Nicholas, how many Big Ten teams do you think makes the college football playoff?
Oh boy, that's tough. I can definitely see 3 for sure. They're locks in Ohio State, Oregon, and Penn State.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the max.
I think 3. I'm gonna go with 3.
I think that's kind of the max. I mean, can Illinois get to 10 wins? Maybe, but I think Illinois is probably your next best team, minus those 3.
I think they are. It all depends on what Luke Altmaier does, like their quarterback play. Like,
yeah,
he was good last year.
Illinois is probably the next best team in the Big Ten, but I'm going to put it at a 3. At 3 as a max. Could they beat up on each other and knock one of them out and only get 2? It's possible, but I think they get 3.
And that team I was talking about is the Georgia Bulldogs. We'll talk about them in 2 weeks, but I think they're going to be very much improved from a year ago.
All right, guys, this has been the Big Ten College SportsCast, college football preview show. We appreciate you being with us. We appreciate Nicholas for coming on, the professor from Ringside Rant, the Stadium Rant.
I do want to say something real quick before we get off. For those watching, Nicholas has a show called Ringside Rant, and he has a co-host on there that is Will Elmore, I think is his name. And I just wanted to shout out and tell him that we have him in our prayers tonight. Will's going through some stuff, and I just
some health issues.
I wanted to kind of throw it out there and tell you that Will, we're thinking of you, man.
And Will's been on the show. Actually, he will be on the show. We are planning for him to be on the show with us next week. We're going to cover the Big 12 next Friday night.
The 15th, yeah.
On the 15th, next Friday night. So be with us. Will be King Will with Stadium Rant, and Ringside Rant will be with us. Nicholas, I hope you enjoyed it. This is kind of a long show, so I hope you enjoyed it.
And Nick will be back the 22nd to discuss the SEC.
Of course, I would love to be back with you guys.
So,
All right, man. I hope you enjoyed the show, guys. Like I said, join us next Friday night for the Big 12 college football preview.
all I can tell you is if me and Brad did this by ourselves, we'd be going on about 4 hours.
Oh,
So-
no.
So trying to keep these next week, the Big 12 is only 16 teams. So maybe we can cut 15, 20 minutes off of this next week. Something like that. But I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you're a Big Ten fan, we hope we did your team justice. And we look forward to the college football season.
And if we didn't, that's okay.
Yeah.
Teams like Northwestern and others, I mean, it is what it is. So,
All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. Y'all have a good night. We will see you next Friday night for the Big 12 preview show. Have a good one.
have a good one, y'all.
Bye-bye.